Hey everyone, welcome to Monday, week 2 for your Life Lab project. We are continuing with the Design Your Own Garden project. This week we are going to be tackling site selection. So that is, you guys are going to go and choose where you're going to go ahead and garden, where you're going to put this garden. We're going to talk about that you have many different options. Just to follow up on week 1, your responses for the reasons why you garden were all pretty good. Remember, those details were really important, and a lot of you guys did a very good job with that. If you haven't handed that in yet, please get that into me soon. I need it so I can get the grades in. All right, on to week 2, Design Your Own Garden project site selection. So as you can see here, I'm going to be sharing this with you. So for part 2 of your project, you will need to choose a location for your garden. As I've mentioned earlier, gardening does not have to be done simply in a large backyard or field. With enough creativity and innovation, you can create a garden pretty much anywhere. I've listed some common locations below, and I've also attached a video reviewing the different locations. Okay, so down here, we have some of the different sites. You can do a different one other than this. However, I think that if you choose one of these, you'll do just fine. So obviously your backyard. It's pretty common. Most of you will probably choose to do your garden there. But again, some of us might not have a backyard. Some of us might live in an apartment or a condo, or our backyard is really, really small. It doesn't get any sun. That's fine. The whole goal of this project is for you to be able to create a garden within your own area, no matter where that area is, and be able to grow some fruits and vegetables. So maybe a backyard, maybe you just have a driveway space. There's a guy who lives down the street from me. He's got a really nice yard, but every year he puts out 15 Home Depot buckets, those 5-gallon buckets that we carry around and pick up weeds in. And he fills those up with dirt, and he grows 15 tomato plants every year, and he does it right on his driveway. And he has some pretty awesome looking tomatoes. So you don't necessarily need the backyard. Basement. I'm going to show you some pictures from my house in a minute on this video, and you'll get to see all the different places you can grow. Right now I have food starting in my basement. And so, that's another option. Obviously, there's some things that you have to do differently there. You're going to need lighting. You're going to need a separate type of a water source, and those are considerations. But it is an option. Your porch. I'm going to say here porch. Actually, I'm going to adjust this. Or a deck, right? Whatever it is that you have. They typically have lots of light on them. But again, you're not going to be able to plant in the ground, which is fine. So you're going to have to plant in containers or in pots or things like that. A balcony, this would be, I guess, sort of like a porch attached to the house. Some people have different words for these things. This is probably going to be more common in a apartment or a condo. And if you have a little porch or balcony, you can grow a lot of food on those, as long as the sun is right. And if the sun isn't right, there's plenty of options for lights. So nobody here is going to have the excuse of, well, I don't have a place to garden. The community garden, this is another option. I know we call our SIS community garden a community garden, but a community garden is also a place in town, and Shelton has, I believe, definitely 2, maybe 3 of them. And these are places in town that you go and you pay a small fee. It's like $15 for the year, and you get a small area to garden in, and it's yours. So if you live in an apartment, if you live in a condo, if you don't want to take away any of your yard space, you're going to have to drive there, if you don't live too close to it. But if you live 5 minutes away and you have to drive 5 minutes to go do your garden, you get to garden. Very, very popular in urban areas. And so I'll share some more information on those with you. A bedroom. I have a student last year who designed her whole garden in a bedroom. She had a windowsill, and she grew a pretty great number of vegetables there. Even if you have that bedroom with that poor window, maybe you have to get a light for your bedroom. And then obviously there's also the kitchen, right? The kitchen is another option as well. Okay. So I want to talk just for a quick minute about what it is that you're going to have to do when you answer these, what are you going to have to submit? So you have two options for submitting. Option number one is to submit a picture. Okay. So you can go and take a picture of your spot. And here's option one. I have gone out in my backyard and I took a picture. This isn't really my backyard, but I went out in my backyard and I took a picture, and I've indicated I went into tools. Nope, sorry. Where did I go? Insert drawing. And I just did a new drawing. I took that picture, I put it in there, and then I went ahead and I added in where my raised beds were going to be. I'm sure you guys are much fancier than I am, and you can annotate it a little bit better than I could. So I did that, and then I remember we had these 4 questions. So what area have you chosen? So I went ahead and I wrote a couple sentences about what area I've chosen. Why did I choose that area? What are some of the challenges and limitations of that area? And what did I have to overcome? And then what are some of the benefits of that area? So that is one of your options. You can, like I said, take a picture, dump the picture into Google Docs, and then you're just going to turn in this document. Okay. So there you go. There's one option. You're going to garden in your basement. Go take a picture of the spot in your basement and and then answer these questions. Now remember that with these questions, a couple sentences per question answer, and details. All right. Another option that is sort of being spurred on by this whole distance learning model is to take a video of your location. So if you wanted to, I'd love to see your actual spot in a video, and in that way you don't even need to write. If you just went out there to your spot or your site where you're going to choose to garden with the list of pictures, you can just kind of walk around and say, hey, Mr. Wolf, this is where the area I've chosen. It's sort of in my backyard, and I chose this area because blah blah blah. These are some of the challenges, and these are some of the benefits. And then all you need to do is upload me that video right to Google Classroom. Just hit submit file, choose video, and then just submit it, and there you go. So 2 different options for you. Again, if you have any questions, please reach to me via email. The video is going to continue for a little bit longer, and I'm going to show you some actual examples of different places and what that might look like. All right, guys. Again, very proud of you. You guys are doing awesome. Keep up the hard work, and you're doing great.